Once upon a time there lived a young unicorn named Starlight. She had a beautiful silver coat that sparkled like stardust. Starlight spent her days frolicking through flower-filled meadows and splashing in crystal-clear streams. One sunny morning, Starlight was startled by a loud commotion coming from the village. "Help! Help!" cried the villagers. Starlight rushed to see what was the matter. When she arrived, the villagers exclaimed, "Our magic wishing well has run dry. Now we have no way to make wishes." Starlight looked down the well, but all she saw was a few droplets of water at the very bottom. "I will go on a quest to restore the wishing well's magic," declared Starlight. The villagers cheered with joy and wished her good luck. And so Starlight's quest began. She ventured out of her meadow home into new lands she had never seen before. The first place she arrived at was a dark forest with towering trees that blocked out the sunlight. Owls hooted from their nests as Starlight carefully made her way through the overgrown path. Up ahead, Starlight spotted a flicker of light. She headed towards the light and discovered it was a small cottage in the woods. Starlight approached the cottage and knocked on the wooden door with her horn. An old woman opened the door and said, "My, what do we have here? A unicorn. Please do come in." Inside the cottage, the old woman tended to a crackling fire. She introduced herself as Agnes, the forest witch. Agnes said, "You must be here about the wishing well. I'm afraid I cannot help you, but I know who can." She pulled a scroll from her shelf and showed Starlight a map to the oracle's temple. Starlight thanked Agnes and followed the map out of the dark forest. Starlight journeyed across misty bogs and over steep hills until she arrived at the oracle's temple. Vines covered the crumbling columns and the air felt heavy with magic. As Starlight slowly entered the temple, torches along the walls burst into flame, lighting the way. At the end of the hall sat an ancient oracle with pale blue skin and white eyes. "I have been expecting you, young unicorn," said the oracle in a raspy voice. Starlight asked, "How do I restore magic to the wishing well?" The oracle replied, "To restore the well's magic you must travel to the Cave of Wonders and retrieve the Crystal of Dreams." Starlight left the temple and traveled far and wide until she came to the Cave of Wonders. Outside the cave entrance stood two stone lions with gleaming eyes. As Starlight approached, the lions spoke in unison, "Only those who are pure of heart may enter the Cave of Wonders." Starlight boldly stepped forward and the stone lions permitted her to pass. She entered the dark cave, which was lit by brilliant crystals of all colors growing along the walls and ceiling. Up ahead Starlight could see a glow. It was the Crystal of Dreams. The magical Crystal of Dreams was enormous, as big as Starlight herself. She looked into the crystal and saw beautiful images flickering inside. Starlight knew this crystal held the power to restore the wishing well's magic. She carefully loaded the crystal onto her back. It was heavy, but Starlight was determined to deliver it safely back to her village. Moving as fast as she could, Starlight began the journey back through the Cave of Wonders towards home. After the long and difficult journey, Starlight finally arrived back in her village with the Crystal of Dreams. The villagers cheered when they saw the massive crystal. "She has returned with the crystal," they cried. Carefully, Starlight lowered the crystal into the dry wishing well. As soon as the crystal touched the bottom of the well, it began to glow brightly. Magical sparks shot up out of the well like fireworks. Now the well was overflowing with shimmering magical water. The villagers were overjoyed to have their wishing well restored. From that day on, Starlight was hailed as a hero in her village. The wishing well's magic provided wishes whenever they were needed thanks to Starlight's brave quest. Starlight was happy to be back in her meadow home, but now she looked forward to finding where the next magical adventure would take her.